My wife, 27F of 4 years, cheated on me 30M tonight after my birthday 2 days ago. Should I divorce her or talk to her? I'm very tired writing this. I'm sorry it's scatterbrained. We have been together for 4 years. 1 year dating, 3 years married. She 27, me 30. The dynamic of our relationship was unbalanced from the start. I work and make money and provide for her doing tattoos. I helped her get medical care. I take her out, buy her makeup. God forbid I couldn't do it all the time if money was tight, but on Valentine's Day, I have her on her birthday. I buy her stuff. She's worked in the past for all of 2 weeks before making me pick her up because she had a panic attack. I get stressed over the financial burden. We pay rent on a house with her parents, and we don't necessarily get a family discount. She helped ruin a friendship I had since 8th grade. 2 days ago was my birthday. I'm 30 now. I went to Colorado with my friends 2 years ago, and she was freaking out on me the whole time, saying I was going to leave her and making up stories of her dad being abusive to make me come back home. I did, and it ruined me and my friend's relationship. And with all other things I buy, and if season is slow, we struggle a bit. I have been harsh with her, even said some things I wish I could take back. But I've never been physical at her, near her, or toward her. My words, though I can't forgive myself for some of the things I said, I will own up to that. And I've given her ultimatums of getting a job or I can't do this anymore. She's always agreed, and we work out some sort of understanding, like she agreed to get her GED, which she's been missing classes recently, and she's switched like a light. This week she's been super moody and distant and hiding her phone. She's allowed to go through my phone anytime, and she does. I have nothing to hide. She made a comment, random AF, about how some dude hit on her at her doctor's appointment. I made a joke saying, "Did you get his number?" Well, and she freaks. Gets super defensive, and it's not like she's accused me 100 times of cheating, even though I'm faithful. She has an issue that I tattoo, so she thinks it makes me more desirable. Anyways, she gets defensive, and a few days go by, and she gets nausea, vomiting, and headache, and can't eat and refuses to eat or drink. I'm fine. She has this sometimes throughout the years, and I've come to a personal opinion. It might be psychological things manifesting as physical symptoms. She always asks what she can do to help it. I suggest the doctor drink water and try to force food down, cause not eating or drinking will make her worse. She refuses, and it's a cycle of her asking what to do. I suggest food and water. She gets mad. Repeat. I've also brought up several times that if she wants out of this, I won't hold her hostage. I don't want to be a monster locked up with me if she wants to go. But I tell her I love her, and I don't want her to go, but if she feels there is a guy that will take care of all her wants and needs physically, emotionally, and financially, and she thinks she can leave spoiled food in his fridges and dirty dishes for him to clean up and old food in his room he has to clean and using all his toilet paper, then cool, I want her to be happy. I just want our relationship to be even 70%, 30%. I'd be more than satisfied, but she refuses to make money. So during my birthday 2 days ago, I'm taking care of her. Granted, I'm being snippy cause she's refusing to eat. A day and a half goes by, she's eating and is fine. We had one misunderstanding about our dog, and when we are taking him for a walk, she snaps at me, accusing me of yelling at her first. It gets to the point where she brings up taking a break and going to spend the night at her friend Alice's place. I kind of ask her to please not stay the night, but go ahead and hang out with her for sure. She's insistent on staying a whole night. I go to work the next day, and I agree, sure, go stay the night, but I had a suspicion she's been talking to someone else, and I asked her to show me the messages between Alice, and there was a conversation about a sleepover. She backs out of her Snapchat, and I see a brand new message from someone named MyPrince1. I kind of went cold and asked who that was. She goes, "It's my uncle." I asked simply if I could read the message then. She explodes, throws her phone in her purse, saying she needs me to trust her, and if I can't trust her, we are done. I tell her to make a fool out of me and show me I'm being paranoid and just show me the message. She just says, "I'm done. I want a divorce." All I can say is, holy crap, grabbing my hair, she cheated on me. She came right out under pressure. She hit up an ex who she broke up with because he wanted an open relationship. And she is with him right now, and I'm here typing this. Throughout this night, I've been texting her because she texted me giving me an ultimatum saying we have an open relationship or we are done. Then she texts me saying it's a mistake and she's being ducked up She doesn't know who she is and doesn't want to lose me and blah blah. I told her parents. They want to kick her out of the house. Was kind of surprised they are being so nice and even offering to literally give me the room and the bed and she can have the empty guest room across from her brother. I'm kind of tempted to talk to her first because she promised she'd be back in the morning. The only thing is I feel bad, and if I did make her move her stuff out of my room. I feel bad because she literally has clothes, makeup, and a PS4 and a phone. No furniture, no TV she owns, no computer, no car. I pay for the Wi-Fi. I don't know what to do. Any advice? Comments? One Redditor advised, I'm just going to be blunt with you. Your wife has some very serious mental health issues. These issues never tend to go away. They may subside for a while, but eventually come back. I say cut your losses. You only have 4 years invested and no kids, thank God. You're still young and have a whole lot of life ahead of you. Don't waste a minute more of it fighting a losing battle. Another one wrote, lawyer up. Process your feelings as quickly as you can. If it's slow, it's slow. Don't break yourself over some idea that you should be over it by now. At any point, get the hardest parts done. Call up the boys because it's time for you to be celebrated for being a decent guy, in spite of this misfortune. And to quote a very popular author, don't forget to smile in any situation. As long as you are alive, there will be better things later, and there will be many. Keep your head up, King. Another Redditor wrote, leave her. She's a mess. She's not a partner. She's a leech. She's using you. She's immature. This isn't love. She may not even be capable of love. Ron, I know you're hurting now, but believe me, you're going to end up so relieved. You're going to have more money in your pocket. You're actually going to live a much better life without her. She is nothing but a drain. Talk to an attorney immediately. Find out how to protect yourself. File for divorce. I doubt you will have to pay any alimony because you haven't been married that long. Be sure to mention the infidelity and the fact that she basically refuses to work or do anything to better herself. The courts don't look very kindly upon that. She has her parents that she can fall back on. Set up a separate bank account and put your money in there. Cancel all credit cards that she is on. Follow the advice that your attorney gives you in order to protect yourself from her. As for your living situation, I don't think you should be anywhere near her. You can't stay in the same house. It won't work. Because she will always be there, and she will keep trying to get you back. And it's not because she cares about you. She doesn't love you. But it's not you. I honestly do not think that she's capable of love. You need to find another place to live. Maybe get a roommate or something like that. But you need to move out. Unless her parents kick her out, but I don't think they'll do that. And even then, it's still not good because she'll keep coming over and try to get you back. Again, she only wants you in her life because you support her. It may take a little bit of time before you can actually move out, because you have to find an apartment that you can afford. Maybe you will need a roommate. Just start looking today. In the meantime, while you are looking, you should take up her parents' suggestion. She can move into the room with no furniture. Remember, she is no longer your problem.
Story 2. Am I the a-hole for leaving my best friend at the bar after she grabbed my plate and refused to give it back until I apologized? My friend, 24F, and I, 24F, have been friends for over 4 years. We'll call her Mia. This incident happened towards the end of February this year. Mia and I had decided to meet up for drinks and toppers, to catch up, after we hadn't seen each other since the beginning of January. Everything was going well on the girls' day out until Mia started getting tipsy. I had shown her a picture of the Valentine's Day setup my boyfriend had done for me 2 weeks prior. I don't really post on socials anymore, so this was her first time seeing it. Her whole aura completely changed. The conversation started getting confrontational, and Mia asked why had I not been checking up on her, and how I had been putting our friendship on the back burner. She accused me of not being able to balance a boyfriend and my friendships. To add more context, when I had seen Mia in January, it was during her stay at a mental health center. She had mentioned needing a breather, so I picked her up from the facilities and we spent a day by the beach. After this day, our WhatsApp conversations were sparse with me checking if she's still all right and vice versa. Early February, I had a familial issue I was dealing with and completely went quiet on all my acquaintances and friends. This was excluding my boyfriend, who I basically live with at this point. I'm guessing she saw the Valentine's Day pictures and thought clearly you were present enough to celebrate that. Back to the girls' day out. Her mood is now completely flipped. She grabs the plate of food I'm eating from and says you're not getting this until you explain why you abandoned me. Mind you, the people around us at the bar are looking at us now. I tell her this is very immature, send her my portion of the bill and leave. She calls me multiple times after I leave and texts asking what's up. She eventually sends a text, a couple of days later, apologizing for her behavior. I guess my mistake was responding to the text 4 days later accepting the apology, because we have not spoken since. Comments. One Redditor wrote, "Friendship is a joint job. Responsibility goes both ways. You know the feel when you think you should write someone. But then remember, communication goes both ways. It's equal responsibility to maintain a friendship. If she's ready to abandon ship the moment you don't write her for a period but refuse to initiate herself, that's a red flag of entitlement. When one of the boys goes stale on contact, we'll grab him and hang out. We'll push him online to take some games with the boys. Doesn't matter what. The point is rather we all partake in the responsibility to maintain the friendship, instead of blaming him for being less present for X reason, if that is girlfriend, family, work, or whatever. Life happens and time withers before you know it. Not the a-hole." Another guy wrote, "I guess I'm gonna be the one to say you are a-hole-ish. Now, your friend has no right to take your food and demand an apology, and you had stuff going on in your life that made it hard too. But I have been the one to have a mental health stay, and on the other side of it is knowing your friends move on, have lives, and yes, abandon you. It can feel isolating and lonely, and I can see how the impression of living a full and happy life, from the photo, can make her feel like she's even more isolated. I'm not calling you the a-hole. What I'm saying is that maybe you need to be a bit more patient and try reaching out again, because she's going through a rough time, and the main thing people like that need is a support system. You can choose to step back, of course, and that would be understandable. But it's also worthwhile remembering that people in mental health hospitalizations are often highly anxious, upset, frustrated and angry, and maybe not in the best place to make rational decisions. She may really regret her behavior, having lashed out in a moment out of misery to think that while she's been going through hell you have been, wrongly, but she jumped the gun on it, living it up and not there to support her as much as she'd like or in the ways that she needed. I've been there, and it's depressing to know that friends have abandoned me or simply moved on while I've been struggling. I'll stress that I don't think you're the a-hole, just that if you care and want to stay in, then communication on both sides about where your lives are at and what you both need and want is a good idea. Does she know that you've been having a hard time too? Because I blew up at a friend once for not being in contact, but it turned out they were helping with an emergency with one of their other friends. I was too addled with depression, too deep in a black hole, to think or rationalize that actually they weren't ignoring me on purpose. And yet I was still a bit angry because the least they could have done was say, "Hey, yeah, dealing with an emergency, I'll get back to you," rather than leaving me hanging for weeks when they knew their support was important to me. That's all I'm saying. People here don't realize just how much a little communication goes a long way. It's not entitlement to want support at your weakest and feel upset when you didn't get it, but it's very much your friend's fault for blowing up and not dealing with it in a more mature manner. Clearly support was an implied thing for her, and she should have communicated her needs better. Likewise, communicating that you were not available to support her would have been a good idea. Anyway, she clearly regretted her actions. So why not give it a bit of time and another go, and if she still doesn't talk to you, take that as a sign and only contact her if she messages you back. Well, this is the end of these 2 stories. So what you guys think? Should the husband in the first story divorce her wife or talk things out? And what about the friend in the second story? Is she justified in her action? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, if you guys enjoyed these stories, do like and subscribe to our channel. It's free for you guys, but it helps us a lot and keeps us motivated. You guys can also support us by checking out the links in the video description and the channel's About section. Here are some videos you can watch in the meantime. Till then, goodbye.